can pump up to 25 gallons of water.
Hello.
It's perfect.
Someone's to die in the melting box.
Starbucks. KFC. KFC? Guys, this it. Guys, what's that? Guys, this it. What? This will be before team against the Olympics.
I don't want to
This will be
name
after
mine.
feeding the Olympics.
7-Eleven is upgrading the menu with Japanese.
Another episode of Keep, Sell, Donate. I'm going through 500 common clothes, trying to make a profit.
If you pour water onto your propane tank, you can check the level by looking for the cold spot. If you rub an onion on your grill, you can clean it without a grill brush. If you rub a potato on your grill, you can make it non-stick and you don't have any spray. If you add an ice cube to your burger, it will help it from drying out and they'll become juicier. If you skewer your hot dog, it'll be much easier to flip and it won't be rolling around. If you pour
Our sleeper PC here is missing two very important things. Despite it looking old and dated from the outside, it's quite literally the most powerful AMD gaming PC that I've ever built. Not only does it have a brand new 9950 X32, but it's also rocking an RX 9070 XT. However, is a sleeper PC really a sleeper PC if they're not using sleeper PC peripherals? This mouse and keyboard are not nearly beige enough to fit in with the sleeper PC aesthetic, so let's change that. Surprisingly, Micro Center does not carry keyboards from the 1980s anymore. In fact, the oldest piece of tech I could find here is this RX 550, released in 2017. But I figured this PC deserved a real piece of retro tech. So why not pair it with the holy grail of retro mechanical keyboards from 1987? It's gonna be so cool. Oh, it is so beautiful. Check out this aesthetic. They really just don't make them how they used to. Although the main challenge here is that, well, there's no USB port. These keyboards were serial. Thankfully, adapters do exist. Now we'll just toss in a beige mouse, and it's starting to look and feel pretty darn legit. Although now we might need to downgrade our monitor to fit in with the overall aesthetic. Now, if you think we should add like a CRT monitor to this setup, let me know.
Kiss, marry, kill. Kiss, marry, kill. Kiss.
Hey guys.
Tell me whatever computer I ever owned.
Oh, we're searching.
Was searching for food in the bomb shelter when a missile hit the earth. When Homer stepped out of the bomb shelter, he didn't realize at all that almost all humans had been wiped out. He even complained that the driver in front was deliberately blocking his way.
It's green, moron!
Card shopping means just.
Let me show you how to move, let me show you how to get that girl, you ain't never coming last. Your man, you know this gon' make you mad. That girl, you ain't make it so okay.
My PC has a problem because when I turn it on, now luckily I can turn the sound part of that off, but the reason this is happening is because there's no storage. Let's grab this SSD that I got yesterday and install it. The first thing to do is to unscrew the side panel, which I should probably use a screwdriver for. And then we can just kind of slide it off, open this part up, and I'm pretty sure this little cage area is where the 2.5-inch SSD goes. And as long as the data and power cables are not plugged in, we should be okay. And with it back together, let's set it out. Now I was trying to boot into Windows. I guess I still have that installed on the SSD, but I don't think it's going to work. I lied. I guess it's actually working perfectly fine. Well, eventually I want to turn this into a home server, but for now I think I'll just leave it.
Come make a not so micro.
Did you sister with me?
Hell no.
What's your language? Why the hell not?
Oh, this fucking show sucks now. It's all pink and princessy. Why are Britney's always ruined by women?
In 2004, Nokia had a problem, and they solved it with a sticker. In the early 2000s, a massive amount of counterfeit Nokia batteries were flooding the market, and these batteries had the potential of damaging the actual hardware of the phones due to their low-quality build and material. Either that or Nokia just wanted less competition from third-party manufacturers. Either way, Nokia was motivated to make sure it was obvious to identify an official Nokia battery versus a counterfeit battery. And so to solve this problem, they ended up deciding to add a very special holographic sticker on the back of every officially made battery. And these stickers are really cool. They almost look three-dimensional. You can see these two little hands here, which is Nokia's Connecting People logo. The holographic stickers by themselves weren't difficult to forge, but Nokia added one additional security measure, which can be found underneath this black bar right here. That's right. You can scratch off this black bar to reveal a hidden serial number, which you can then look up online to validate the legitimacy of this battery. Most people think you can just drill into a maple tree and syrup pours out, but that's not how it works. You drill a hole, push in a spout, and connect tubing so the raw sap drips out slowly into a jug. But what comes out is about 98% water. There's barely any sugar in it at all. To turn it into syrup, you have to boil off almost all of that water, which takes hours. The sap goes into a pot and gets boiled down continuously, with more added as it reduces until the entire batch is condensed. Once it's close, the temperature has to be monitored carefully, because maple syrup is done at exactly 7 degrees, above the boiling point of water. It gets filtered through cloth to remove any debris, then poured into a bottle, leaving you with only a fraction of what you collected. Most people think you...
What? The authentic way to cook puff stickers is to literally stick them to the pot?
Oh, that's why they're called pot stickers.
That looks so perfect. Let's do the first. You can start to fix the bottom. The stickers to have it. Then stickers you can play it. You can stick them to the location next time. So here is something very clean. And the patterns are supposed to do stuff to the work.
Maybe you should have used a non-stick wall.
That's right. We can judge a recipe based on just one failed attempt.
And the non-stick wall is maple simply.
This time I switched the back to a regular wok and made sure the wok was well greased and thoroughly heated before sticking the pot stickers up. I also reduced the hot water to 1 cup to shorten the cooking time. Good news is that 3 attempts later, I finally made one authentic pot sticker, one with 4 undercooked ones and 15 broken ones. What?
So everything that I think is massive. This video is so much better than everything else. But I'm going to be saying everything else. But I'm trying to do something that you know what I'm doing. So yeah, you're not putting something to me. So you do a pocket pass. So this means how we do retail products. Oh, this is turning out awesome. Oh, we definitely need this somewhere. That's a shame. Listen to you there. Yeah, this relies upon true portability. It's so neat and tiny, it looks like it could have been bought from the shops. I couldn't cover the heat sinks because they need to radiate either way. I wanted to put it on the heat, which I do anyway because I'm a heat fan. I also wanted to keep the compact flash card accessible, although it is very hard to pull out. If there's power input on the other side, the power switch in the corner here with one unit to get a power out on the other side. You've got the navigation, the rolling buttons from school, and the bottom you've got the video port for the iOS system. So we've got 2 different ports, a line up and a video port. I'm going to see this video as if I'm getting that this, so I'll tell you what we've got. I've got one of the little card ports, so there's 3 using the little card. I want to be able to see that out. So let's just see the right side here, and then we'll back to you. Well, time for our first. Good signs. Yes.
Classic seawalls have one fatal flaw. They can dig their own graves. Flat walls take the wave head on, but curved walls can be worse. They flip the wave almost 180 degrees, driving it down like a pressure drill that scours the sand under its own base. But South Korea's Uju changed it. They didn't build a stronger wall. They built a trap. These hollow blocks pull the wave inside, till its force and hit it.
Brandon, you like wet, soggy hot dog?
Oh my god. This is my dad's Chromebook Plus, and the touchpad on this thing is completely broke, but not for long, because today we're fixing it. This replacement trackpad was like $30 online, which I feel like is kind of a lot, but it's way cheaper than a new computer, so let's get this thing apart. It looks like I might have cracked the back here when I tried to get it off last time, so hopefully I don't do that again. Alright, so first let's take the battery out, unscrew the old trackpad, and honestly it looks like it kind of just slides right out. And now we put in the new one. Gotta make sure to plug it in. Now it's time to test it out. Honestly, this would just be kind of disappointing if it didn't work. Alright, here we go. That looks good. That's all working. You see that when you like clicked a few times, the touchpad would just completely break, but now everything works. Now what do I do with a broken Chromebook touchpad?
No way! What? Wait, look at that! That is a Santa port! What? No, ain't no fucking way. You cannot tell me that that is not a Santa port. What? How did this come to be? Why? I truly had no idea that was going to be like that. You saw me take the tape off. I did not know that. And so that means these would be like hard drive connectors. Okay, they're like really poopy ones. Instead of being plastic with pins, they're literally just like cheap PCB. No way. Dude, no way. We have to do something first now. Do you think I can fit my SATA extension cable in here? No way! What? Wait, look!
Oh, my man got the pallet expander. See, that thing is like a... Oh my goodness. Since when did expanders start looking like transformers in the mouth? That thing is a very fancy looking expander, but actually for real though, this is kind of a newer style of expander.
Okay.
Let me show you how to move, let me show you how to get. That you ain't never coming back. Fuck your man, you know there's
Hey man, I just built my first PC and I got no picture. Hey, listen.
My wife went to a client dinner. My business partner, Bradford student, was a wealthy heiress. She came from a privileged background. All her classmates tried to befriend her, but she mocked everyone around her instead. Even the class hamster didn't escape her teasing. The hamster panicked and scurried away.
Hey everybody, now which console should I destroy today? Yeah, no, okay, no. Oh, I know. This obviously requires an Xbox. The Xbox was well known as being the biggest, heaviest, most power-hungry console anybody has ever seen. So what kind of console makes it so valuable? It's done by somebody not involved with the screw back and putting it on and then talking about handwriting. I'm going to give these things a love. This is a Samsung phone you've never heard of. The Samsung Note A. First impressions, dude, it's actually big and super wide. This thing is probably wider than the S26 Ultra. Let's see. I knew it. It is. Dude, look how wide it is. Power button at the top, aka the better design. Who thought that was a good mic control sound? Ooh, this one is kind of cool though. Look at that edge. There's a speaker on the back, but there's a heart rate monitor too on the back. But this S Pen, you can't click it out. You gotta use a fingernail to get it out. Oh, wait, it sounds. Hold on. Let's do that again. Woo! That's kind of cool. Oh, damn. There's actually no clicking. Let's try that camera. It's actually pretty high resolution at 16 megapixels. Whoa, look at that brain. You know what? 10-year-old phone, not too bad. But you can use the edge for notifications. You have that as an icon. Let's try that. Oh, wait, you can just barely see it. And in the corner, it shows the date. You also got a lot of looking at it like stab. You can't put text on the side of it. As you can see, Obama is dad. I don't miss this sound. Nope. Hate that. We're also on Android 5, aka Lollipop. Yep, YouTube don't work. Damn it. Let's try that fingerprint scanner because you have to swipe on it. Okay, so nothing good or what? Oh, wait, it did unlock. But this phone.
My buddy traded his sub for my yacht the other day, but no.
This home theater projector is not broken, but I still can't use it because there's nothing connected to it. So let's see if one of these semi-broken laptops is good enough to use. We can just get rid of this one, to be honest. It couldn't even run through. Well, the screen on this one is broken, but we don't need that for a projector. I guess there's actually no SSD in it, so we can't do that. So let's try the upgraded school Chromebook. It looks like it turns on fine, and I guess I have Windows 10 on here. Kind of forgot this thing just worked. It looks like it projects fine also. Actually, I think it does have problems with the battery, but we don't really need that. So once I add a wireless mouse and keyboard, I think we'll be good. I'll probably upgrade it to Windows 11.
The original Nintendo DS used the same charge port as the Game Boy Advance SP, and the SP had no headphone jack, so Nintendo designed this dongle that plugs into the charge port and gives a headphone amp. And for some reason, this functionality was carried over to the Nintendo DS, despite having a headphone jack. It does allow having two headphones plugged in, but I really don't see a use for this other than, like, hating a headphone jack being here. The original Nintendo DS
Now, if I just start cranking, the car probably won't start because I don't have the key on it.
Now, if I have the key over on Mac,
This customer called in saying they were running their furnace for over 3 months now, and the oil tank gauge was still showing full. She was scared that the gauge wasn't reading correctly, and she was afraid she would run out of oil when it's super cold out. The best way to check if the gauge is reading correctly is by unscrewing the plastic capsule and pushing down on the float. And if it goes back up to where it is, that means the float is not bad. And after all that, I came to the realization that furnace was ran by natural gas. Nothing in the house was ran by oil. So yes, you wasted $800 on an oil fill up.
Can you still hear sound on a DS if the top screen is gone? The speakers are normally up on top, so probably not, but it could work if you plug in a speaker.
Let's see, I'll turn the volume up all the way. You can actually hear a little bit.
Got our speakers ready? Time for the moment of truth. No way! It actually works.
Can Linux save my oldest laptop? Bro, I don't think anything's saving this thing. What do you mean we only got 1 gigabyte of RAM and an Intel Atom? We're cooked. You know, let's just try Minecraft. And if that doesn't work, I'm switching to Windows XP. Oh no, I'm gonna kill all the RAM before we get to do anything. Back when this thing was running Windows 11, Minecraft didn't want to run at all. Yeah, I made a terrible decision. Let's just hope on Linux it runs well. There's no way we're doing the latest version. Give me 1.0. Not enough RAM? Oh no. Hey, looks like it's launching though. Wait. Before I touch this, I need my gaming mouse. Oh no, I'm scared. 1 frame, that's the most we're getting right now. I'm sorry, this is even worse than on Windows. Subscriber, I'm gonna shower with this laptop.
Let me show you how to move, let me show you how to get that girl, you ain't never coming last. Fuck your man, you know there's gon'
Can an airbag fix a dent? Let's find out. First, we need a good dent. And the scariest part is connecting to this thing, which feels like poking a sleeping bear. Now we're gonna shove the airbag behind it, and I'm gonna move to a safe distance. This right.
CJ, if you're remembering a bunch of stuff, you have to say it out loud. I just missed them. You know what, pal? I think that engine snorkel's a good idea. Bottoms up.
Wow, you can really pull that look off. I could never go short. It's called disruption. If you don't take risks, you don't grow. For me, this is pretty bold. I guess everyone has to start somewhere.
The moth babies just hatched. I repeat, the moth babies just hatched. So 2 days ago I learned about these Mexican jumping beans, but they're not really beans at all, but more so baby moths waiting to hatch from these bean-like shells. And one of them literally just hatched. So let's take a look before we let him go. So this is the cocoon that he was nesting in and the larva casing that was surrounding his body. And now we get to officially meet Joseph for the first time. I named him that because that's my middle name. And gosh, they grow up so fast, but now everyone say bye to Joseph. The moth, our sleeper PC was begging for an update, and so we gave it one. Because despite it looking like it's fresh out of the early 2000s, remember, this computer's hiding some pretty powerful components. But instead of pairing it with, say, a router ultra-wide, I decided to go with the T-Route, which will not only let us take advantage of increased footage clarity and non-existent input lag, but because Rocket Modern footage was popping out over 200 frames per second, all while achieving the unmatched aesthetic from the late 90s and early 2000s. And this does feel like a surprisingly good mix of technology, because you know what they say, they don't make them how they used to. They used to make them to last, which is why we're also using an Omni-Key Ultra, one of the most prolific mechanical keyboards straight out of the 1980s.
This beaver pond is one of the last places I would ever normally gather water from, but for the sake of the test, it's perfect. I'll fill up the bag without getting any water on the spout. This is the Puribag kit that I've heard does a great job at clearing up some of the nastiest water, so we're putting it to the test. I'll shake it up for 5 minutes after I pour the powder in, and I was very surprised at how fast it started to work. The powder causes all the sediment particles to bind together into clusters, and the clusters become heavy enough to where they sink. So now where the opening of the bag is, I have to fold that over, slide this piece on to seal it, then I'll hang it from a tree branch after I spilled some, of course. I'll let it hang for half an hour, wait for all the particles to settle to the bottom, and I'll twist the bottom part, clip it to hold it in place, sealing it off so no water gets through, and I'll slide the bottom piece off to drain all the mud. Then I'll slide the purple piece back on, take the clip off, and use the spout to dispense some water. There's also a filter on the back of the spout. The water turned out very clear. There's only a tiny amount of particles at the bottom of the jar. At this point, it should be safe to drink, but I'd rather run it through a filter straw or boil it for added precaution. This beaver pond is one of the last places...
What is inside this fake Nintendo DS? It calls itself a DS ML, and it acts like a normal Nintendo DS. Frankly, all went through the normal build tech rather than Nintendo's beloved Fireway. And opening it up, we can do the same with the original Nintendo DS. The bottom had these massive spikes of the snow line, and we try to take out the motherboard, and found that it's only 2 of the 3 screws, with the middle one not even having a place for it to screw into. And whatever they're using to hold the screen in, it's really strong. It should be possible to take apart to replace the screen, but I don't need 2 sides left. And while reassembling it, I found out the battery is starting to get a bit pricey, so I'll just chuck my battery in to be safe. What is inside?
Ranking the most expensive mechanic fails.
Ooh, 90,000 miles.
Come on, no snake eyes.
Customer states AC broken, fan loud.
We can fix it, Thomas?
5 gallons of gas
What are you gonna do with 5 gallons of gas?
and a lighter.
Ranking them or getting all this too here, and I want a bunch of them to try.
Alright, guys, we're good.
Let's try 5 different Japanese sweets, starting with the most dangerous one. This is clear mochi. It's bland and extremely sticky. Though it's rare, it can get stuck in your throat. That's why it's recommended to coat it in soybean powder and sweet syrup. Not only does it add flavor, but it also helps you eat it more safely.
What is up with these new cycling clip-ins? I just can't. I just trying to get it to fucking get on there properly. What is up with these?
This little nose spray could save.
Once this is put on, it's meant to remain there for many years. A jade bangle is hung from one solid piece of stone, which means there's no clasp, no hinge, and no way to adjust its size. It has to slide over your hand in a single motion, squeezing past your knuckles. That's why people often use soap or oil to help it slip on smoothly. But once it's in place, it usually stays there. In Chinese tradition, jade is believed to stay with the wearer, slowly collecting the marks of time, daily wear, and even small impacts. So, if it eventually cracks after years of use, it isn't considered bad luck. Instead, people say the jade broke because it absorbed the misfortune that was meant for the person.
Hey, Rick. Oh, hey, kiddo. How's your Saturday? Yeah, super chill. What you doing? Nothing adventurous. You know that race of underground-dwelling cannibal horse people that we're always fighting? Yeah, the Chuds. What about them? Well, don't tell anybody, but I'm working on a bioweapon to use against them. So I got this barrel of horse semen from your mom's hospital, and I'm just gonna, subject it to some otherworldly forces. Guess I should test it and make sure it's...
Make sure it's what?
Horse semen, obviously.
Okay, but it says it is right on the barrel.
You're not being very scientific, Morty. Measure twice, cut once, especially with
Did you
semen.
even ask Mom if you can have this?
Morty, if I wanted to steal horse semen, Yes, I asked her. What is at stake for you here?
Why don't you trust labels?
All right, fine. I won't test it. God damn, your generation really picks random hills to die on. Don't get too close. I'm running an inhuman amount of power through this semen. Should be safe, though, since the semen itself is, also inhuman. Here we go.
Hey, Rick.
All right, kiddo. How's your...
Let me show you inside.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, you can smash it. So what do you think?
It's very pixelated.
And made my cat.
How did it get up here?
I don't know. Let me show you inside.
This laptop's 20 years old. I tried saving it with Linux, but it can't be saved. Welcome to Debian. Shut the hell up. The only way I can fix this thing is by installing Windows XP. I'm pretty sure this thing came with Windows 7, but we gotta go lower than that. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, the nostalgia. I remember this screen. I also remember this one. Okay, that's better. Press enter. Is this gonna take all night? Hurry up. Are we okay? I haven't seen that start up in ages. 2 hours with
This is the strongest magnet in the world, and it's so powerful it can pull in things that don't even look like metal. This isn't your average magnet, it's a massive laboratory magnet with an insane amount of pull. The closer you get to the center, the stronger it gets. For context, Earth's magnetic field is only about 50 microtesla, but this beast reaches a mind-blowing 45.22 teslas. To prove it, they put a coin inside a ball and threw it. In a split second, the ball is violently ripped toward the magnet. Even from super far away, it flies.
Let me show you how to move, let me show you how to get that bag, you ain't never coming last. Fuck your man, you know this.
The GBA is a great portable, but you might be wondering why there's 2 spaces that indent right here. Now, at first I thought it was for a string that goes inside so you can hang it around your neck or use it as a handle. However, that is not the case. This is actually for an attachment. Let me show you what it's for. So this cable, you see this side goes into your GameCube and this side connects to your GBA, like so. And those 2 grooves help it lock into place, and then to release them, you push these together and they'll pop.
The brown bear was determined to eat some honey. He used a wooden plank to pry open the wire fence. Then he used flowers to attract the bees together. After that, he suddenly covered the entire swarm with a wooden barrel. Just as he was feeling proud of himself, he never expected the violently shaking barrel to suddenly become still. The brown bear was filled with confusion. In the next second, the swarm broke through the barrel and flew out. The brown bear hurriedly jumped.
Well, actually, that looks completely dry. That's good. But what if we were using it for cold springs? Maybe something fizzy. Now, when I shake this, it's going to release CO2 from the bubbles. How's this flexible seal going to cope with the pressure build-up? Oh no, look at that! The whole thing has ballooned right out. And it's even lifted up the yellow ring. That's definitely not good. It feels like it could pop at any second. So I'll slowly undo it to let the gas out gently. Well, I guess we know it's airtight now, but I'd say it's not suitable for fizzy drinks if you're closing the lid. But what about with the straw? Looking at the instructions, we were actually supposed to receive 2 lengths of stainless steel straw, along with the silicone pipe. But mine only came with 1. I'm going to try using this paper drinking straw as a temporary fix. It's roughly the same diameter. The instructions say to connect the 2 straws together using the silicone tube. So we've now got a nice long straw with a spendy bit in the middle. And I'm going to need to cut the paper straw to the right length for the cup. And now the idea is we can close the lid on the cup, and the top seals around the silicone tube, which helps to prevent spills. Let's try it out with some Coke. Place the straw in, and twist it closed. That's cool. It's still nice and flexible. And when you take a sip, you can see it going through. And what I quite like about this is if we turn the drink upside down, the bottom of the straw is now in an air bubble at the top. So the drink doesn't pour out, only the little bit that was inside the straw.
Picture of things versus power of time. This happens when a cat licks cheese. Last one is worn down the most. This guy opened a pack of Linder chocolates and discovered empty sections inside the box. This anti-homeless bench that you can't even sit down on. This guy went to tighten his new pants, only to realize the drawstring wasn't real. This half-sunken boat is actually just a broken car antenna. This fallen post looks like a discarded cigarette. This Gorilla Glue completely dried before we used any of it. This is what the front row seats looked like at the Michael movie. This bag of apples has a character who got sick from an apple. This guy has to finish the can just to figure out how to open it. They totally did this bottle redesign to hide that it has less rock.
$1 all the way to $100. Science guy. Which one's the best? Starting with the $1 drinking bird that will continuously dip into the water because of evaporation, but eventually stops when the water dries off. Next is a $25 kinetic sculpture called the Swinging Sphinx. Obviously, if you're a Marvel fan, you ought to see one of these in the Iron Man movie. But the secret to it moving back and forth is simply hidden batteries. At $50, we have the Mova Road, which doesn't need any hidden batteries for it to move. It actually uses light and Earth's magnetic field to continuously rotate, even if it's going extremely slow like this. And finally, the $100 perpetual motion machine that will magically loop the marbles you put in.
Let's do all 5.
$1 all up. You're a broke teen who.
So I have a spare Dexcom G6 sensor here that expired back in April of 2022, and today we're gonna dry fire it. Let's do it. I want to see what it looks like when this sensor injects into the skin. I'm very curious. These are very expensive. Oh, and it's a 9117 sensor. You guys know what that means. These are bad luck sensors. Well, let's see what it looks like when it injects into the body. We're going to do a side profile like this. Get ready. 3, 2. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, this is like liquid gold. 1. Oh, that was cool. 1. Oh, that was cool. Oh, that's what it looks like. Oh, I hope I can get that in slow-mo. All right, there's the Dexcom like that. This is what goes inside of you. There's a little cannula. Looks like that. That was cool. That was neat. So I have a spare Dexcom G6 sensor here that
Speedrunning Shorts, did you know the Boeing 747 is so tall that the pilots don't even have an emergency slide?
You have to climb under the roof, grab a zip line, and jump. This guy finally found the Golden Oreo prize and decided to test whether it was made of real gold. Gold is real, but it's only a tiny amount.
Are you sure the toilet cover doesn't just spin around and get reused?
Just moves from the clean roll to the dirty one. Speedrunning Shorts,
did you know the Boeing...
How highly can we make the shelf before it's right? To find out, we use one of our own tests and mixing up some concrete, then filling a printed pot with it and putting it on the shelf. These deep holes for every 24 hours, but if we added a tiny bit more force, right, and that's because the front has nothing to support it, so the bracket in the back has way too much leverage on it from the weight. To fix this, we designed a hidden fold-out arm that spreads the weight across 2 points. But instead of retesting with concrete, we swapped it for steel balls and poured sand in between the gaps to make it heavier. But because the shell held the weight even if we added the concrete on as well, we need to decide what to test it with next.
If you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, you're gonna love this. Somebody made me a Faz wrench. Isn't that cute? I found it finally in my convention suitcase. It got lost in there, buried under something. But I'm getting my convention suitcase ready to go to.
Hey, let's talk about Caleb's arm as someone who's a current doctorate student in the health and medical field.
Name the video game A to Z. Among Us.
Battlefield.
Cats and Crashers, Dungeons and Dragons. That was cool.
5 Nights at Freddy's. Oh, here's the one.
Resident Evil Halo?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He's using a MagSafe charging puck to fish his iPhone out of a storm drain. There we go. Okay, let's pull it from the side. So, okay, it just doesn't work, man. It doesn't work.
Yeah, Carter, that's what we call a skill issue. All right, we've got the iPhone on the ground. I only have a Samsung brand wireless charging puck, but that'll have to do. And we're just going to go ahead and bring the cable. We're going to bring the cable down to the iPhone, right about. Boom, there, we got it. Bro, Carter, what's happened?
Tits up, bitches. Go be the reason the devil is fucking nervous today. Listen, do fucking...
I think Kai's attractive.
What are you doing?
I burned through 4 light bulbs in 1 word.
No, husband. Why burn through any light bulb? Cables exist. You was wrong. Why burn through any light? Let's be surprised up to the house. These are like 10 grains. 10 for you, 10 for your brother, and 10 for your dad. What are you gonna eat? I have 1 left. Two. That was my last meal. If I can't enjoy my bite, I'll have my bread. Ow! Bread's gonna stale. It's only 2 years old. You really need to stop sticking up that place now. Give me a baseball bat. Hold it up. No! It's a fat cat!
If it's just you right now, you're all set. Watch in.
What happens if you spray a running computer with freezing cold gas? This is a can of super cold freeze spray that can chill electronics down to negative 51 degrees Celsius. And while its intended purpose is to identify where shorts have occurred on a PCB by adding a layer of frost and then waiting to see which component heats up quicker than the rest, I want to see what happens if we spray a running computer with it instead. But as always, please don't try this at home or at school. As we begin spraying our CPU, you can watch as our CPU temperature begins to plummet all the way down to 0 degrees Celsius. That is crazy cold. But is it too cold? Because now we're at the risk of that condensed air turning into liquid water, causing shorts and potentially destroying our computer. But regardless, I want to see what happens if we put this under 100% low, which instantly skyrockets our CPU temps. So now if we subject our 100 degree CPU to our freezing cold spray, something crazy happens. We went from 99 degrees all the way down to 0, almost.
This popped up on my feed. At first I thought it was an ad trying to sell the original Super Mario Brothers game, but something looked different. If you look under there next to Mario Brothers, it says Cartridge Canteen. So I started scrolling through the pictures, saw a picture of the cartridge, and it says official Nintendo licensed product. I scrolled to the next picture, and there's a picture of a half-drunken liquor bottle and a funnel. Then I saw there's a little top that goes into the cartridge. And I looked it up online. This is actually an official licensed Nintendo product. They've come a long way from being a family-friendly company of the 80s and 90s. This popped up on my feed. I thought it was an ad trying to sell the original Super Mario Brothers. Thankfully, you bought your Game Boy. You finally returned it. Yeah, I was sick on it, so I can't play it anymore. You know what told me this before you handed it back to me? Thanks for letting me borrow your Game Boy. You finally returned it. Yeah, I was sick all night, so I can't play it.
Here's how I did this. All the way up there. This one I could reach with my wheelchair. These ones I cannot, which is why I asked for help from my partner. And honestly, I probably should ask for help for this one too. I'm a great physiotherapist, but this one was hard to build. I shouldn't risk dropping that.
Everyone saves the box that their phone came in. I'm just wondering, has anyone needed it yet? You don't need it for
$100 for an N64? I can raise money by selling Nintendo ROMs online. We have another illegal ROM seller. Another sale. I'm a lawyer for Nintendo. You have been served. I'm not taking that. There's no delay. I really hope this works. I'm your neighbor and selling Nintendo games outside your house. Now I can stop selling ROMs. And now you have officially been served. Huh? $100.
Hey, Llama Tama, do you want to get ready for senior pictures?
Sony won't admit.
I'm the first American to try a GameCube. This is different than Nintendo's previous consoles. Where's the cartridge slot? We have power, reset, and then what's this open button do? Oh, that's weird. This must be where the game goes. Wow, look how thin the games are now. Then how do you insert it into this console? I don't know. Maybe we can just read it somehow. Let's just close it and see what happens. Okay, what is this thing that says slot A? Is this where the controller goes? Actually, the controller goes in here. All I can do now is turn on the power and see if it works. I'm the first American to try. Right, you ready for days?
Yeah, ready.
Oh god. What's going on? I think we're starting to look like a straight couple.
What? No. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Right, you ready for days?
Yeah, ready.
Calm down, my boy. You don't gotta stare at me like that. Yes, I know.
So today in Asda I see some zero caffeine Coca-Cola, but then I noticed you coined some 007 Fast Life, so I went back to get a bottle of Coca-Cola to stock and hopefully win something at least. So we're 14 Coke zero caffeine free. I went to the check. I paid this bill, I returned to make my payment, and that's when things fell apart. So first off, you need to scan your receipt to see if you want anything. But the first time it said the receipt date before the start of the promotion, so I tried again where it said I didn't even have any Coke Zero products on the receipt. But that's least of my worry, because I noticed the promotion had actually ended. So would anyone like a free bottle of Coke Zero caffeine?
Wait the day! What time is it? It's 7:08. We're on vacation. Go to the store for me now. Since I'm up, let's get ready to go to Whole Foods. We don't have a Whole Foods right from, so it's a great opportunity for me to stock up on my favorite items. Chocolate croissants. Let's stock up on it.
Time for Mario 64. Mario fights Bowser in the intro? I'm out! Hey, look, Napoleon, I'm fighting Bowser. But you're not the same! I was joking, that wasn't really me. You were making it just look like you were playing! You're booty! A great portable but no frontlit screen. A great portable but no frontlit screen. A great portable but no frontlit screen. A great portable but still no frontlit screen. I think the tech is finally there. Let's go ahead and give the customers a frontlit screen. A great...
Let's go! Woo! All you do is play all day. But Mom, stop playing and go study. Yoink. I didn't see the game. All my progress is gone. Talk back to me and you're not getting dinner. You study hard, play harder. Keep playing like this